Meanwhile, in Tupac news,
The shooting of Tupac Shakur once again underscores the violence that has surrounded this man since he shot the superstar.
People pulled up, opened fire. Shakur and Knight.
Tupac Shakur was shot several times in the chest. Shakur was pronounced dead.
Machiavelli in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me?
Rappers want to be athletes, and athletes want to be rappers. You know, Biggie had a lot of good friends. Shaq was one of them.
In this era, there's no half stepping in my circle. Try to get out that, I doubt that I hurt you.
That's a fly combination.
$1 figures, blessings that act legends and figures. Cream lizards, cream coochies, I do my duty.
And on March 6, 1997, celebrated his 25th birthday in LA. He met up with his friend, Biggie Smalls.
Frank White, numero uno, can't stop, won't stop.
He invited me to his party.
They made plans to meet at that party. Shaq's close family friend, Jerome Crawford, was supposed to pick Shaq up and bring him to the party.
Usually Uncle Jerome would just come up, but I guess he tried to call the front desk and they wouldn't let him through.
He was in the passenger seat, and you know, it was all love that day. You just not expecting.
I was actually on my way. I was dressed, ready to go.
Shaq says he fell asleep and never made it to the party.
John Norris with an MTV News breaking story. Rap artist known as Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace was shot early Sunday morning.
In his autobiography, he wrote, "If I would have been standing by his truck, would the killer still have shot?"
Only Gab can do it like this. If Shaq would have said, you know what, I'm gonna come with y'all. I'm sure him and Big would have rolled together. I'm sure Shaq would have had security.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is Machiavelli Media. So, Shaquille O'Neal often thinks about, could his presence around the Notorious B.I.G. could have saved his life? That tragic night out in L.A. I don't know, man. You know, you hear Shaq talk about how he met Biggie and how the first thing he heard, first time he heard Biggie rap, he heard Biggie mention his name and how he just had this bond with Biggie. How they met, they recorded music together. He was out in L.A., he had just signed with the Lakers. He saw Biggie out in L.A. getting a tattoo. And Biggie invited him to a party. And while he was waiting for his ride to come get him the night of the party, the hotel security wouldn't let his ride up. And ultimately, he went to sleep waiting on his ride. And that's the same night the Notorious Big lost his life. Now, here's my question. Shaq thinks that him being with Biggie may have saved Biggie's life. I don't know if the shooter would have gave Biggie a pass simply because Shaq was around. And I can tell you a first-hand story where I was put in a similar situation. And, you know, just let me tell you the story real fast. I'm not going to give you any names because when I tell you a story, it's real. And I don't want to offend anyone because these people are still around and I still know these people. They, you know, I still consider them friends. But when I was a teenager, my first car, I had picked up one of my buddies from the neighborhood, my best friend, and he had just moved out of the neighborhood. And we was riding around, you know, doing what we do, riding around, chilling, having fun, you know, what teenagers do. So I stopped at a gas station in my neighborhood, and I seen one of my homegirls. And she said, Gad, what you doing up here? I said, getting gas. She said, who you up here with? And when I said the person's name, she like, what? He in your car? I said, yeah. So she goes over to my car, goes to the passenger window and say, what you doing around here? What you doing in his car? You know they gonna kill you. This supposed to be your man. You riding around with him. You know it's a green light on you. She looked at me and said, get him out your car now. They gonna kill all of y'all. So I'm like, yo, what she talking about? He like, oh man, they bluffing. They ain't gonna do nothing. The whole time I got him with me, now I'm putting two and two together. He got his baseball hat pulled real low, like right over top of his nose bones. And he got the seat way back. So now I'm doing the math. I'm like, okay, you just moved out the neighborhood. You riding through, but you real low right about now. You know what I mean? It was a feeling that came over me I can't describe to you. It was an eerie feeling, you know what I mean? And she looked him in his eyes and said, if you was any kind of friend, you wouldn't come around until you get that worked out. And he was like, yo, you could let me out right here. I like, bet. It wasn't even a block away from the gas station. You could let me out right here, I'm good. And it was a harsh reality to me because I'm wondering, like, damn, we all know the same people. Would they had shot? Or would they say, nah, you know, he ain't Gab car? And truth be told, I believe they would have still shot. So that's what I mean by Shaq's presence alone, I don't think would have kept the shooter from blasting that car. Now, on the flip side, Lil C said if Shaq would have came, it would have been more security. Shaquille O'Neal, this Shaq we talking about. The Diesel, Shaq Daddy. Yes, security would have been heightened for Shaquille O'Neal. Another hypothetical question that Shaq asked himself and that Lil C is posing, would Biggie have rolled with Shaq? Now, that would have changed a lot of things because, like I said, Shaq would have had his own security. Biggie would have been with him. I don't know if security would have rolled in the car with those two, but that may have been a, you know, one way Biggie could have survived that night. The third option is Biggie would have asked for more security because he had Shaq with him. But we heard Gene Deal say they were understaffed that night, undermanned. So, you know, I don't know what Shaq presence could have did to prolong the life of the Notorious Big. Who knows, man? But we do know the outcome. My bigger question, and this goes for myself, for the people that always have the coulda, woulda, shouldas, right? What would have happened if Pac didn't jump on Orlando? What would have happened if Pac was wearing his bulletproof? What would have happened if Biggie didn't go on the radio station and do Long Kiss Goodnight? What would have happened if Biggie would have stayed out of California? What would have happened if Shaq came with Biggie? You know what would have happened? Whoever was after them probably would have had to pick another day. Do I think they would have stopped coming at the Biggie? They would have stopped coming at the Tupac? No. It would have just been a different time. Like, yo, we can't get them right now. How many times had they tried before that and wasn't successful? You know? They had to wait for an opportunity to catch both artists out of pocket. Pac wasn't in LA. They got Pac in Las Vegas. Biggie wasn't in New York. They got Biggie in LA. But let's just say Biggie survived that night. He come back out there and never. You think he would have never came back to LA? No. They would have just had to, you know, wait till another opportunity. Or the fact that Tupac, you know, got into a fight with Orlando out in Las Vegas. If Pac would have made it out of Vegas, hello, they both was going back to Cali, right? Ain't that where Death Row was based out of? Ain't that where the South Side reside? They would have had to catch Pac another time, but they was going back to the same state. So what I'm saying is, if they had made it through the night, how much difference would it have made? The crazy part to me is I didn't know that Biggie and Shaq was that close. I remember when they did the song Can't Stop the Rain and Shaq was dressed like a giant Biggie with the, you know, the suit and the hat and all of that. But I didn't know that Shaq loved Biggie so much, man. Matter of fact, Shaq saying Biggie the GOAT, the greatest to ever do it. That's Shaq's opinion, you know? So tell me what you guys think. If Shaq was with Biggie there that night, would it have made a difference? Or do you think Biggie would have shared the same fate? I know one thing. If you look at it like this, it was like it was bound to happen. Like I said, so many things went wrong for Shaq not to be there that night. He was waiting on his ride couldn't get upstairs, he went to sleep. Just maybe Shaquille O'Neal not going to that party that night might have saved his own life.
Can't stop,